Okay. Trump's anti-immigrant comments, quoting Putin without approval, sparked backlash. Let's get back to the number one guy. My number one guy, the greatest to ever do it, the GOAT, the greatest bussy haver, Donald Trump. Before we get to Z-Way and George Santos and Elon Musk with Last Week Tonight and communism versus capitalism, we gotta give it up for our boy, DJT, Donald John Trump. Not junior, but senior. He's back, and he is better than ever.
Republican primary, but he is now facing criticism for lavishing praise on dictators and ramping up his attacks on immigrants, using phrases that have clear ties to white supremacy and Hitler. On the campaign trail, former President Donald Trump is drawing big crowds in his swing through early voting states, but coming under fire for these anti-immigrant comments he made in New Hampshire this weekend.
Insane. Like, I'm ready yourself because honestly, this is like, he's really leveling up.
Poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done.
That made in New Hampshire this weekend.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done.
Cool. When he starts to get poetic with it, you know he's like on some Hitler shit. You know what I mean? He's on his Hitler arc, much like Kanye West. It's like here's why he has to be. Okay? One, he already did the Mexicans are rapists last time around, and you can't really play that again. So now he has to get to like Hitlerian poetry. He can't just simply say Mexicans are rapists. Everybody's like, yeah, we know that already. Boo, get new material. So now he has to get new material. He has to level it up. But once you literally say brown people are scary because they rape indiscriminately and people clap for that, there's not really much else. You have two avenues, okay? You either literally find like new, funnier and weirder ways to be racist, and what I mean by that is like, by like engaging in European levels of racism. Like either he's gonna be like the Romas, folks. Americans, they don't want you to say the G word. I say it. Which everyone would be like, well, what the fuck? Like, we don't know what you're even talking about. Or the second European style racism, which is like ethnic disagreements, right? Like, Polish people, folks, are they human? Are they dogs? Find out. We'll find it. You know who's not going to find it? The exit, the Poles, like that kind of thing, you know? Or like anti-Italian hatred. I don't know, like Sicilians and Arabs, you can't figure out who's who. We got to shut down immigration from Sicily. Are they Arab? Are they Italian? Who knows? I say both are the same. You know? Or he's going to do this, which is like poetic Hitlerian takes, which is, you know, like they're tainting the blood of our beautiful soil. Because he's got nothing else. He already maxed out. He maxed out last time around. What is he supposed to do? Like, to be fair, what is he supposed to do? He literally said Mexicans are rapists, dog. You can't get more racist than that. You know? This is what he got. He ulted. Yeah, he painted himself into the Hitler corner of the room early on. He can still say anti-Semitic stuff. He won't say that. Well, he has said anti-Semitic stuff, but like in the type of anti-Semitism that like isn't literally like Jews are doing immigration in America, but he'll say anti-Semitic stuff like, Jews, folks, you gotta have a Jewish lawyer. Like shit like that. You know what I mean? Not like what did he say? He doesn't do like the global elites shit. He does say global elites, but I don't think he means Jews. Like I don't think Donald Trump is more anti-Semitic than the average like New York businessman. Like he's not like a Tucker Carlson style of anti-Semite who literally is like who's just straight up, in my opinion, like 4chan, Groyper, genuinely anti-Semitic. Trump's global elites are like gay people and Democrats and some Jewish people as well. But for me, like the type of anti-Semitism that he's brought up before is just that like he says stuff like he'll go on the Republican Jewish conference or whatever and be like, you know, I love my Jews, counting my money. I trust only the Jews to count the money. Like shit like that. What did he? That's a direct quote from him. He says something along those lines where it was like unhinged, but not like there's a difference between saying like, oh, I want my accountant to be Jewish, which is like still an anti-Semitic stereotype, versus like Jews are literally responsible for the ethnic displacement of like whites in America, the pure population. Yeah. He also said to the Republican Jewish coalition that they were good at renegotiating deals. Oh yeah, he did do that. Yeah. That's the other thing. So so I don't know. I mean, I guess like he could say the N-word or something to like level up his racism, but I don't know if he would say that because I think he really loves that he's got like 22% of the black vote right now. So if anything, he also routinely talks about how he doesn't say the N-word. Well, he says one of the N-words. Nuclear. But he doesn't say the other. And he actually makes a note of how he doesn't say the N-word. So I guess, you know, he's probably not super anti-Semitic because he has family, his grandchildren, his son-in-law. Yeah, no, he's not. Like, he's anti-Semitic in the same, like, rich wasp way. You know what I mean? Like, the type of guy who's like, you know, it's not bad that the Jews are now allowed at Harvard, but it wasn't great. You know, that sort of thing. Where he's not... He doesn't think that, like, Jews control the planet, is what I mean. Any more so than, like, wasps do.
That language echoes white supremacists and was used by Adolf Hitler in his autobiographical manifesto, Mein Kampf, where Hitler criticized...
Yeah, it's weird that, like, ABC News is doing this while also, like, I think they forgot. The real Hitlerian politics is saying Palestinians are human. Not when you're literally Adolf Hitler or literally defending Adolf Hitler. It's just like, this doesn't ring as true when you spend most of your commentary talking about like some fucking 18-year-old college freshman who's like a part of an anti-Zionist group. And those are like the actual Nazis, you know, in America. It does blow my mind that like the same media that literally had Richard Spencer go on their, you know, they've gone on television. Like Jake Tapper had Richard Spencer on TV. Okay? The very same media that like in the first iteration of Donald Trump was literally finding ways to normalize Nazis, like actual Nazis. 8 years later are basically like, yeah, actually, the real Nazis are the college campus kids, and they're worse than the Nazis that we had on television.
Mixing races, calling it, quote, blood poisoning. Trump has repeatedly used the phrase.
He's disgusting. And what he's doing is dog whistling to Americans who feel absolutely under stress and strain from the economy and from the conflicts around the world.
This is exactly what you've been saying all along. The greatest threat to Jews is the far right, not anti-Zionist. Yeah, of course. Like, the wild thing that I saw a poll conducted where it was like, Jews in America now believe that the far left is significantly more harmful to them than the far right. And I'm like, dude, you're a fucking idiot, okay? I'm sorry. Like, the amount of propaganda that you've been fucking spoon-fed at this point is causing your brain to fucking collapse in and of itself, okay? If you think, and I say the same thing for the Muslim population, except the Muslim population, I don't think would be like, Jews are a bigger threat to our existence here than like actual fucking far-right Nazis. But like, you are insane if you think that, like, if you legitimately think, because American Jews were polled on this, right? 1,000 American Jews were polled on this in college campuses, I think, and they said that they were facing far graver threats from the far left, like legitimate threats from the far left than the far right. And it's like, you're insane. But they were self-described Zionist American Jews. Oh, is it birthright? Oh, okay, that actually changes the dynamic quite a bit. But even then, plenty of American Jews go on birthright like that don't really think about it. Is this post-birthright or pre-birthright, for example? This photo has my interest as a Jew at heart compared to someone like AOC. Yeah. It's just like, the thing is, are there people who LARP and say stuff? Absolutely. Okay. There are, like, let's be real. Even there are people in this chat sometimes that like say shit that will absolutely come across as anti-Semitic or even is sometimes anti-Semitic. Okay. Thanks for butchering my joke. It's not okay. Well, I'm the one who's making jokes, not you. Okay. Listen, my point is this. Okay. There are absolutely going to be anti-Semitic takes in every space, okay? Doesn't make it right or good. It's just a thing, right? This is something I talked about quite a bit when talking about Jeremy Corbyn and how, like, there's anti-Semitism in the Labour Party, and then you look at the Tories and you're like, how the fuck do you literally look at the situation and go, here's the racism party, and then here's the left, or what is supposedly the left. And then there is the anti-Semitism across the board on average in the UK. And then you look at that situation and you're like, how are you yelling at the party that has less anti-Semitism on average than both the broader population and certainly the Tories, and you're mad at them because they have any anti-Semitism at all? And it's like, I don't know. It's just so fucking stupid and so obviously anti-leftist propaganda. And it hurts my soul to see the impact of that propaganda being recycled where it's not born out of like legitimately defending Jews, obviously. And it's simply just a way to take the fears that Jewish people may have and weaponize it against the left. It's like, hey guys, hey, American Jews, listen to me. There's nothing more scary than Medicare for all. Okay? You better watch out, guys. It's like so obviously weaponized towards whatever the fuck the right thinks is like the good target to attack at this point. And conservatives, LARPers caring about Jewish people, like the Elise Stefanik example, people I know thought she did well in college president hearings before learning she endorsed a Hitler was right guy and kept campaigning for him. Exactly. Like the fucking, the young Jewish student body president or whatever that went in front of the Republican Congress and said like, oh, I'm under attack. This is terrifying. And then went on motherfucking what's his face? The Dragon of Budapest. His program. Mr. Vitesse Rend himself. Sebastian Gorka. It's like, dude, that's crazy. If you go on Sebastian Gorka's program to be like, Jews are under attack, it's like, by who? The dude you're talking to at the fucking program who wore a badge of honor for his grandfather's excursions in Budapest where they collaborated with the fucking Nazis to hunt Jews in Hungary? Like, what are you, crazy? What the fuck's wrong with you? It's so funny. And half the fucking time, it's like, it's ridiculous shit. This community made Ethan fucking cry last time he was on, Moz included, and he's not the only against the idea, but your friend, don't act like the left are all angels. The unimaginable parasocial aspect of this blows my fucking mind. I had a conversation with Ethan directly, person to person, okay? There's only so much I could have done as I communicated with him at the time with respect to how his words are being received from a broader population, okay? It's ridiculous to look at a situation where like Ethan wouldn't even agree with you on the matter when I'm talking about like anti-Semitism being weaponized by the Republican Party. Ethan wouldn't agree with you, but you brought him up in this circumstance. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, you think that even anti-Zionist Jews themselves in this community, okay, being critical of Ethan is akin to anti-Semitism and the left's anti-Semitism, then you've lost the plot. No, leftist anti-Semitism comes from people defending, whether willingly or, because they're completely oblivious to the reality of the same conflations being made between Israel and Judaism. Okay? That's where leftist anti-Semitism oftentimes stems from. People going, yeah, Jews are this way or Jews are that way because they think like Israel does defend the interests of all Jews. It is a response oftentimes to Israeli actions and that conflation being done by Israel. There's other forms of actual anti-Semitism that is masked under anti-Zionism, but that's not leftist in the sense that the Nation of Islam is not leftist, right? When fucking when Farrakhan says like Jews control the world, he's not doing it in a leftist way. People just respond and say that's leftist because he's black, okay? That's just straight anti-Semitism. There is also obviously there's also anti-Zionist takes or anti-Semites that use anti-Zionist language to fucking mask their anti-Semitic perspectives, but that's different. If we're gonna talk about like, you said black weird there. I said black weird there because I said Farrakhan automatically is considered leftist because he's black. Ridiculous. Anyway. Did you watch the live show last night? No, I was live last night while the show was going on. Hard B on the Black Azoon. What do you think about the DSA co-founder leaving them because of the left's response? The DSA co-founder, I don't think it's just the Republican Party saying this shit, is literally the DSA co-founder left the DSA because of the leftist response. A lot of these criticisms on the left are coming from leftists themselves. Yeah, here's the thing I think about that. Leftist infighting is always a permanent thing. If the fucking DSA co-founder, which is the one I think about, the one that you're referencing, is the old guy, okay, then he can suck my nut. Let me tell you something. Guess what, dude? When he was popping off, the DSA had like 10 people, okay? Look at the fucking DSA now. Suck my cock is what I say to him. Like, sure, there's still plenty of issues with the DSA, but the idea that like, oh, it's no longer the little fucking, the little like old communist club that we had or whatever is ridiculous. Yeah, the DSA has become a larger organization in the past like 10 years than ever. I saw a tweet calling leftists out of touch because we say libs are conservative, but the general public doesn't say that. Like, yeah, we're aware of that law. Hey, exactly. Anyway. I joined the DSA due to this program. Exactly. There's like, it's the same ass shit where like people go, yeah, actually, you guys should really stop saying from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, because you're like really alienating people. It's like, really? Are we alienating people? Motherfucker, what are you talking about? There hasn't been more of a pro-Palestinian momentum in this fucking country historically than this very moment right now. And that's what you're focusing on? The optics? I don't know, man. It seems like people saying that is still fucking working. Suck my dick. Same goes with DSA too. Like people be like, oh, DSA sucks. Okay, well, you set up your own fucking group. And, you know, when it gets to that same fucking level of prominence, we'll talk about it again. Anyway. So, I forgot what I was saying because I got lost in the sauce a little bit here when the DSA subject got brought up and like the aesthetics and the optics conversation got brought up. But overall, you just gotta always get back to the fucking basics and just ask people, like, do you think Israel's an apartheid state or not? Or do you deny that Israel is an apartheid state, even though Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, B'Tselem, and many other organizations have openly admitted that Israel is an apartheid state?
And he's dog whistling it to blame it on people from areas that don't look like us.
If elected, Trump promised to carry out mass deportations, deputizing the National Guard to arrest undocumented immigrants.
I will terminate every open.
Oh, we were talking about the left being anti-Semitic more so than the right. Yeah, exactly. I will say this always, and I will say this forever, okay? In the Western world especially, Jews have to fear the far right infinitely more than Muslims, and Muslims has to fear the far right infinitely more than Jews. It's fucking ridiculous. It's always the same shit. And anybody that tries to come at me and say, no, Hasan, you don't understand. It's always like the Muslims that present a grave danger to the Jews, and it's the Jews that present a grave danger to the Muslims. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Okay? You're out of your fucking mind, dog.
Open borders policy of the Biden administration, stop the invasion of our southern border, and begin the largest domestic deportation operation in American history.
On the campaign trail, the former president also praising dictators, at one point invoking Russian President Vladimir Putin, using quotes from a top U.S. adversary to attack President Biden.
Vladimir Putin. Has anybody ever heard of Vladimir Putin? Of Russia, says that Biden's, and this is a quote, politically motivated persecution of his political rival is very good for Russia because it shows the rottenness of the American political system.
The Biden campaign responding with a blistering statement, writing Trump.
Yeah, Putin hates prosecuting his like when someone is prosecuting their opposition, Putin's like, wow, how fucked up.
Parroted Adolf Hitler, praised Kim Jong-un, and quoted Vladimir Putin while running for president on a promise to rule as a dictator and threaten American democracy. and Trump's own words turning off some Republican voters.
He takes things to the extremes, and this is part of the drama we're trying to get away from. There's no reason for it.
But the former president is still the far and away frontrunner, ahead of his Republican rivals by 50 points.
He's not afraid to hurt people's feelings, and there's nothing wrong with that. People really need to toughen up a little bit.
Trump, of course, has pleaded not guilty to 91 criminal charges, making this Republican primary unconventional. But our friends over at 538 pulled the historical data and found that no presidential candidate has ever been this far ahead in the national polls and gone on to lose the nomination, guys.
All right, Rachel, thanks so much.
Can he hurt Netanyahu's feelings? He did. He called Netanyahu a son of a bitch, I'm pretty sure. I think Trump is really good at reading the room, and I'm pretty sure he's said, like, anti-Netanyahu things recently. Trump also obviously enjoys being a more popular Israeli politician than Benjamin Netanyahu.